What's going on, YouTube? Once again, it is Nostalgia Boy, and you are now tuned into the next volume of stories from the vault. I tried recording a video the other week, but for some reason, my dumb iPhone decided that it did not want to let me edit the video how I wanted, so I never posted it to YouTube, and ultimately I just deleted it. But I am back with today's volume of stories from the vault, and I got a story to tell you. So my last, you know, jersey from the vault, I showed off this beautiful masterpiece, this timeless, beautiful jersey, your 1947 Washington Redskins, now known as the Washington Football Team. Sammy Ball, this beautiful, also most notably famous for being worn by Jay-Z in the Girls, Girls, Girls video. Peter Capolino actually showed me a picture of the greatest boxer in Philadelphia history, Rocky Balboa, at the Mitchell and Ness store wearing this same exact jersey. So this jersey has some rich history. Now, after this video is dropped, and after I drop these gems to you, Peter Capolino did a podcast like 5 years ago, and he gets into the story of why he made Mitchell and Ness, how it came up, and why he made jerseys. And there's some very great gems and information in that podcast. If you can listen to it, that'll give you a better understanding on why Peter made jerseys and why certain jerseys were made a certain way, why he did it, and yeah. But we'll get into that. But let's get into stories from the vault. This jersey right here and this football player right here, I don't know if this is his favorite jersey, but Sammy Ball is Peter Capolino's favorite football player. Slinging Sammy Ball. It's his favorite football player. Take this down real quick. If you go and you look for a picture of Sammy Ball, you will recognize this picture right here, the NFL throwback authentics, tag, a part of what they use even on their newer ones, is a picture of Sammy Ball. So that goes to show you just how much Peter loves Sammy Ball. Not only was he happy to make this timeless, classic, beautiful jersey, 1947, he even has Sammy Ball on the throwback jock tag. In that podcast, Peter talked about him being his most favorite player and whatnot, and wanting to make his jersey. And back in the day, it was a lot easier to get players' rights, to work out deals with players, especially for the NBA, since they have always had better bargaining deals, collective deals for the players. He didn't have to go through as many loops and holes to get players' rights. With baseball, he would basically, in football, he would just work out a deal where he would give the players like a percentage of royalties for the jersey sales, which is what he did for Mr. Sammy Ball. I think he gave him to 8 to 9% of the jersey sales for this jersey when Peter was selling this jersey. And every month, Peter sent Sammy Ball a check for his royalties for jersey sales. Now, he mentioned in the video how when he first inked the deal with baseball and basketball and football, it was a lot easier to make jerseys and whatnot. Whereas today, it is a lot harder because there's so many more licensing deals and other fine print that goes into making jerseys and whatnot. So it was easier for him to do it back when he ran the company in the 90s and early 2000s compared to now, 2021. So he got Sammy Ball's phone number. He called him. Sammy Ball said, "Don't talk to me about numbers, just send me a check." So Peter just gave him around 8 to 9% of the sales of this jersey. So he started producing the jersey, and Jay-Z decided to come into the Mitchell and Ness store and chose this jersey. He wanted it, and then he wore it in the girls video, which is what most people will associate this jersey with. And once Jay-Z wore the jersey, this was Peter's number one jersey seller for 2 years. And with it being the hot ticket at Mitchell and Ness, Peter was sending Sammy Ball around $4 to $5 grand a month from royalties. So that goes to show you just how much he was pumping these jerseys out and how much people were buying this jersey itself. What's crazy is both the USA production run and the Korea production run are actually hard to come by. It's just astounding that the fact that he was sending Sammy Ball like $4,000 or $5,000 checks, and you don't even see these jerseys. So how many people out there have this jersey? So these jerseys are hiding in people's closets and collections and basements and attics somewhere, because the amount of money Peter was giving him off of royalty sales was a decent chunk of change. And with that, Peter one day got a phone call from Sammy Ball, and Sammy Ball thanked him because he was sending him more money every month than he was ever making playing football. And, Peter was just very happy that his most favorite player was, thankful for the money that he was getting from him. So there you have it. That is your story from the vault about this jersey. And, it's more than just the girls jersey. Listen to that podcast. You can find it. I have an iPhone, so when you type in podcast, if you put Peter Capolino, you'll see it. It's like his something airness, and it basically, the dude sits down and talks with Peter, and it'll give you a lot more insight, and it's a really dope podcast to listen to. It's about 50 minutes long, and a lot of information. So, there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this volume of stories from the vault. Until next time, I'm out.